Welcome, guys, to the grand finale of the BPL T20 night tournament. The game between Midwest CC versus Incredibles. Incredibles have won the toss and elected to bat first. So should be a good final here, and will be underway pretty shortly. I'm gonna share the Incredible squad: Ali Amir, Azim Guman, Usama Razak Baloch, Dhananjay Amre, Romil Ray, Arshad Khan, Agrim Sethi, Hamid Sayed, Ravinder Singh, Moin Babar, and Vedamin. From the Midwest squad is going to be Muhammad Fahad, Fahad Babar, Hassan Beemat, Anas Mahmood, Venkatesh Naidu, Sadaf Hussain, Vineet Sinha, Humayun Ahmadzai, Nadeem William, Farhan Ali, and Manav Brahmat. So, like I said, we should be underway shortly. Until then, stay tuned. So, guys, I just want to introduce our winter T40 tournament and the fall T20 tournament. Both tournaments will be conducted by BPL. So, if you want to reach out, please let me know. The T40 tournament, we've been doing it for the last 3 years, has been a great success for players who want to play a longer format cricket in Chicago, which is not the normal for Chicago. And that's going to be with the pink ball. And for the fall T20 tournament, that's going to be with a white ball. So the white ball T20 will start September 14th, whereas the T40 will start September 23rd. Um, yep. So that's the update from our side, and the match should be underway shortly here. We wait for Midwest CC to take the ground.
Welcome everyone for the BPL T20 Night League finale between Incredibles and Midwest. As you all know, the Incredibles has won the toss and they have elected to bat first, opening Rahman and Osama Baloch. Let's see for Midwest CC. The field is set here for the Midwest CC. Let's see who's gonna win that shiny trophy here tonight.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Bolingbrook Premier League home ground here in lovely Bolingbrook. It's a beautiful night for cricket. Apologies for myself being a little bit late. This is Julian Callahor coming to you here live from the ground. Traffic was a bit rough getting here, but just underway now for the first ball of the final. And we have an unbelievable start to the match. Start off bowling, and the first ball was just driven back. Looks like it was tipped. You will see the replay right now. Oh no, there was just a mix-up with the run. Easy run out. Had all three stumps to aim at, just a gentle underarm onto the stumps. I couldn't quite see who the fielder was who took care of business, but that is the ideal start to Midwest CC. For the striker just backing up a little bit too far, took a few steps down the wicket and got himself stranded. That was maybe a little bit of nerves coming in there, but nonetheless, first wicket is down. And Midwest will be over the moon with that. See Sadaf just practicing his run up there, I believe. I thought he was coming in. Batter's not ready because they're waiting for the new batsman to arrive at the crease. So again, apologies for myself being a little bit late. Unfortunately, like the rest of you all out in the viewing world, we all have regular jobs, and traffic coming up from Plainfield was a little bit tough getting here, but I made it just on time. And an unbelievable start to this night tournament final. BPL night tournament final has been running all season. Had 10 teams in the competition. Each of them did a round robin, playing each other once, so that's 9 matches each. Followed by quarterfinal, semi-final, and here we are at the final about 3 months later, 3.5 months later. And the new batter to the crease, coming into the non-striker's end, is Ali Amir. He's yet to face the ball, but he's just getting a change of gloves, it looks like. Might have brought the wrong ones out with him. So the batter who is out is Osama Baloch. Run out, not facing the delivery. It was Fard Baba there at fairly short mid-off, just had an easy lob onto the stumps. And we're about ready to rock with the second ball of the innings. Sadaf delivers. Wide-ish outside the off stump. Azim on strikes, had a bit of a slash at it. Missed everything. I think the extra height offered by Sadaf just bouncing through. And Azim played underneath that one. And no run. A little bit of a change of the field. Looks like they're bringing in a slip. Unusual, they started without a slip. We'll run through the team list here shortly. Very short delivery. Looks to be a bouncer. Another shy at the stumps. I'm not sure if that would be considered one for the over. It has been called one for the over by the umpire standing at the non-striker's end. But yes, one for the over. It was a good bouncer, well directed, right up at shoulder height. Azim struggled to play that, actually did a fairly decent job of keeping it down, all things considered. Well, to see the umpires conferring right now. There might be some dispute as to whether this one qualified as one for the over or not. We'll see if there's a call for a change. Nonetheless, it was a very good short ball, shortish ball. All right, they're waving off the one for the over. So according to the umpire at the striker's end, standing at square leg, he didn't consider it quite above shoulder height. So almost a bonus there for Sadaf. He got delivered a good bouncer, which technically wasn't a bouncer. And so he does get one more up his sleeve for this over if he chooses to use it. Big appeal for leg before wicket. Umpire signals that it was probably heading down the leg side. Sadaf coming in from left arm over the wicket. So he'd really have to pitch it right in line with the stumps for it to be considered to even be considered leg before. But a very confident appeal, as you should. Umpire did his job and decided not out. Fairly eventful start to this final here. Not even through the first over. We had massive appeal, excellent bouncer, and of course the run out will start things off. A little bit more conventional cricket there. Shortish delivery. Played an uppish defensive shot. And just no run. One ball remaining in the over. And just drifting down the leg side there, misses everything, called a wide, so there's still one ball remaining in this over. First run on the board is an extra. It's a beautiful night here in Bolingbrook. If you're in the area and interested in watching some cricket, I suggest you come on down. Just a big shout out to everyone who is watching on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. Shortish delivery, a little bit slow, just tapped out to the gully region for no run. That ends a very eventful first over of this BPL night tournament final. At the end of one, we are 1 for 1. And for those of you just tuning in late, maybe didn't catch the toss, the Incredibles won the toss and decided to bat. They maybe ruined that decision with the loss of an early wicket. And we'll just go through the team list really quickly. We have for the Incredibles, Agrim Sethi, Ali Amir, Ashad Khan, Azim Gurman, Dhananjay Ambre, Hamid Sayed, Moin Baba, Ravinder Singh, Romel Ray, Usama Razak Baloch, and Veramin, who is a very exciting product of the BPL Youth Academy. And if I got my phone to cooperate here, I'll run down the Midwest Cricket Club list for you. We have Anas Mahmood, Fahad Baba, Ferhan Ali, coming in from Kentucky, Hassan Bemat, Humayun Ahmadzai, Manav Brambat, Muhammad Fahad, Nadeem Williams, Sadaf Hussain. Keeper is Venkatesh Naidu and Vineet Sinha. Is the other fast bowler, well-renowned fast bowler. And coming into the attack is Ferhan Ali. Looks like he'll be right arm over the wicket, coming in from the southern end of the ground. Beautiful day for cricket, beautiful evening for cricket, I should say. Lovely playing conditions, lovely temperature. The grass has been freshly cut. Ground looks magnificent. And you see Ali Amir just slashes that. It was widest delivery outside the off stump. Just in the wheelhouse, obviously, with the fielding restrictions. Only 2 allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Ali had mind to have a free swing of that one. Didn't get all of it, but hit it nice and deep. Easy single. Off the mark straight away. That brings Azim Guman back on strike. And that's a good-looking drive. Azim, first run off his bat. They're going to come back for 2. Just holding up. And the grass made about 3/4 of the way out to the boundary. Fairly deep boundary out here in Bolingbrook. The boundaries to the west and east run about 65 to 70 metres. Certainly in compliance with full ICC regulations. That one went about 50. Nice cover drive. That was a little bit quicker from Ferhan. Straight through to the keeper. Venkatesh gloves it cleanly. Another just, well, wasn't really short of a length. It was up there, but Azim's relatively short of stature. Played a awkward-looking cross-bat shot. Ultimately fairly safe for a single. Just dribbled out to the leg side. Another easy run. Van comes in again. Much better looking delivery there. Just tapped away. Comfortably out to the offside. Fielder there at point. Looks like he dove over the ball. Missed that one. And just ran away for another quick single. And that's some good running for the Incredibles. Just managing to keep the strike churning over. And now's the time to pick up the singles. Obviously you want to lay some wood on the looser deliveries. Ferhan delivery a little bit short. Azim rocks back, doesn't quite get all of that. Pulls it out to the leg side. And that is the end of the over. Another single. End of 2. Incredibles are 7 for 1. Saraf Hussain coming in from the northern end. Start the third over. Tallest gentleman, left arm around the wicket. Good bit of bounce on that one. Azim swung underneath that one. Half-hearted appeal for an edge, but really not a confident appeal at all. Straight through the keeper and no run. Another good delivery, well defended, tried to run it down past the gully bit, just straight to the man at gully. And again, no run, another dot ball. Dot ball's always precious in this short format of the game. 2 allowed outside the 30-yard restriction, but Midwest right now choosing to have everybody inside the ring. Have 3 fielders on the leg side. Oh, I guess the fine leg's just outside the ring. He's standing about 45 yards, so they do have 1 outside. Close to the body. And cut away. Maybe not the most confident cut shot in the world, but it did run all the way through to the boundary for 4. That's the first boundary of the innings. Much needed boundary for Incredibles. I'd be happy to see the scoreboard ticking along. See the replay there, you can see it was relatively close to the body. Did have a full-blooded swing at it, caught the bat uppishly, on the upper part of the bat, but managed to get enough of that to run away to the boundary, running downhill from north to south, does the BPL ground. Confident drive, straight to the man at mid-on. Good-looking shot for no run, but that'll do Azim some confidence. That's probably the shot that he's middled the most so far in his short innings. Another shortish delivery to get high up on him. And there was a convergence of 3 fielders there. Keeper running back with the gloves on. The fielder from slip, can't quite make out who that was. Might have just tweaked his hammy. As it was, I believe that's Hassan Bimat coming around from fine leg. Managed to just get there. His momentum was taking him backwards. The ball sort of short-changed him a little bit, dropped in front of him. It looks like he did get his hand on it, but unfortunately did just drop through. But it was a good delivery, played very awkwardly by Azim. He was lucky to get away with that one, picked up a single. And sometimes that's just the luck of the draw. Those catches, those balls that fly up in the air don't necessarily come straight to hand. You can't have fielders everywhere. It was a fairly good effort by Hassan Bimat to get there. Some might say probably should have caught that, but as it was, just a single. And that's a good delivery, good follow-up delivery. Caught Ali in 2 minds. Dot ball to end the over. This brings us to the end of 3 Incredibles. 12 for 1. 5 runs coming from that over. Yes, now that everyone's ears a little bit settled, the rush to get here has calmed down. I would suggest if you're anywhere in the area, want to watch some good cricket on what is a magnificent night. Good night to get out, bring your dog, go for a walk. Maybe find an excuse to get out. If you've got some kids, just around the corner there's skateboard park, there's basketball court, there's tennis court, and keep the kids entertained. There's bike path. Bring the dog, bring the family, bring a picnic and enjoy it out here on a beautiful night. Perhaps decide not a good night to cook. You might want to hit one of the local restaurants that Bolingbroke has to offer, and then come down and sit on the hill and watch some cricket. Farhan Ali continuing. Nice delivery, well defended there by Azim, and no run. Textbook defensive shot that. Full face of the bat, straight into the ground. Good looking cricket. And for those of you under the age of 25, a textbook is what we used to have at school before we all had Chromebooks. See Farhan aiming for the stumps. A little bit fuller on that. Azim wound up, had a big swipe. Fortunate to get a little bit of bat on that. Just sort of chopped it in the ground. Looked like it might have just dribbled off his foot. Another dot ball. See a flock of geese just flying north, so obviously winter's not coming just yet. Otherwise they'd be flying the other direction. Clip that one to leg side. Something like a straight bat pull shot. Did get a good chunk of that, but fortunate not to hit it straight into the fielder's hands. Just to the left of him, one bounce. Nicely fielded, easy single in the end. If he timed that a little bit better, might have been to his detriment. So fortunate to get away with that. Shortish delivery, the kind you may, as you can see, Ali Amin just practicing the pull shot there. Might have been better served trying a pull shot. As he was, he backed away to the leg side, tried to dab it through the slip and gully region, and ultimately didn't get any of it. And similar delivery from Farhan. Different type of shot. That was an uppish type of pull shot. Looks like it just hit him on the shoulder and didn't connect. Maybe lucky not to have connected on that, because he might have hit it straight up in the air. The swing arc on that one was more straight up and down rather than cross bat shot. And there we see more of a big hoik, thickish edge, runs away all the way to the boundary. Third man picks up 4 runs to end the over. 5 runs coming from the 4th over, the end of 4. Incredibles, 17 for 1. I'd like to thank all of you who've been following the BPL night tournament all season. It's been a fabulous tournament. We give hats off to Hassan Tasjir for arranging the tournament on behalf of the BPL. Done a good job. We had 10 very accomplished teams. As it was, I believe the 2 top teams have qualified for the finals. We'll just head back to the points table. Actually, it was the Cougars finishing top of the table for the regular season. They were knocked out in the semi-final by the Incredibles. Midwest defeated the Spartans. And we see that ball just turned away to the leg side by Azim for an easy single. I neglected to mention that we do have a change of bowling here. This is Vinit Sinha coming in from the north end. That was a little bit of a loosener. not quite up to his usual pace. He can generate good pace and bounce. Coming in off a shorter run. Quick single. Throw to the striker's end. Azim fairly swiftly down there. Throw was a little offline, but even if it had been right on the money, it looks like Azim would have been home. Another quick single. 2 off 2. That was a shorter delivery. Vintage capable of generating, as I said, some pace and some bounce. Once again, Azim's not the tallest gentleman in the world. That one rose up on him fairly quickly, beat him for pace. Looks like it copped him on the glove. Maybe smarted just a little bit, but it looks like he's fine to go on. Not too much trouble. Which is, of course, why batting gloves were invented. It looks like he's calling for something. Maybe he does need a little bit of the magic spray. We'll see. But there's a brief pause in the action. So I'll give you a quick recap of the night's tournament season, which began all the way back there at end of May, I believe. 10 teams competing. They finished in this order on the table after a round robin of 9 matches. The Cougars were the top of the table with 7 wins. Midwest, who's competing tonight, finished second with 6 wins and a no result. Spartans followed up in third, also with 6 wins and a no result, just behind Midwest on run rate. Incredibles finished with a clean 6 wins in 4th place. Share Cricket Club finished behind Incredibles in 5th, also on run rate. They finished with 6 wins. H&H Bolingbrook finished in 6th with just the 4 wins from their 9 matches. Chakri came in 7th with 3 wins and beat out Archer Dentistry Chargers, who finished in 8th spot to qualify for the playoffs behind Chakri on run rate. So that's how the round robin finished. And then we headed to the quarterfinals. First quarterfinal, Midwest beat Chakri in a fairly close affair. H&H Bolingbrook beat the Spartans. Cougars easily disposed of Archer Dentistry Chargers. And the Incredibles beat Share in a fairly close match for the 4th quarterfinal. That brought us to the semi-finals. Midwest knocked off H&H Bolingbrook. And the Cougars succumbed to the might of the Incredibles in yet another close match. That leads us to this final, which we're about to get back in action here, where Midwest and Incredibles. See Vinny just straying down the leg side. Perhaps could have been called for height as well, but it was called wide for being down the leg side. And the umpire at the striker's end, standing at square leg, also signalled 1 for the over. So it would have been a good bounce if it had been directed just a little bit better. Another shortish delivery. Flies off the bat, cramped him for room, but he did manage to get a decent chunk on that. Somewhat of a carve rather than a cut shot. Flew through gully, just a little to the right of the man standing at the deepish gully. And they do come back for 2. And a fairly quick ball there. Straight through the keeper, just a wave at it. Perhaps lucky to get away with that not being called a wide, although he did come down to the pitch to it, so perhaps that's what helped negate it. Slower delivery, just drifting down the leg side, called another wide. You can see a little bit of swing there, a little bit of in swing. Didn't quite start the ball in the right spot, so it's swung down the leg side. Another one just drifting onto the leg side. Vinit off a fairly short run, flicked away, managed to just get the single. They were turning, looking for a second, but a good bit of fielding kept them to just the one. And that appears to be the end of the over. 9 runs, I apologise, coming from that over. Sorry, 7 runs. 7 runs coming from the over. 24 for 1 after 5. So Incredibles doing fairly decently here in the power play. They'd probably like to have a few more runs on the board. Still 1 more over remaining in this power play, but yes, a few more runs on the board would be nice. However, after losing that very first wicket off the very first ball of the match, they've consolidated somewhat. I'll say that again, consolidated somewhat, and appear to be doing a pretty good job of just keeping the scoreboard moving. They have faced some quality bowlers and quality bowling to this point. So keeping the wickets in hand is probably a smart move at this time. And it looks like we are going to have another change of bowling to come in for the final over of the power play. Actually, it is Farhan continuing. Widest delivery. Had a big slash of that one. Just got an under edge on it. Tapped it through to the keeper. I tell a lie. Sorry, it's Nadeem William coming in from the attack from the southern end. So that was the first ball of Nadeem Williams over. It was a little bit of loosener. Was fairly wide. But managed to pick up a wicket straight through the keeper. See if we can get a replay on that one again. Here's the replay. It was Nadeem. It was wide, it was high, he had a slash, he knew he touched it, straight through the keeper, about as easy a keeper's catch as you will see. Venkatesh made no mistake. And as the second wicket goes, just as I was giving them props for keeping their wickets in hand, there was a loose delivery and a loose shot. Deserved more runs, certainly deserved more than it got. But nonetheless, Nadeem would be happy to take that one. And Venkatesh should be certainly happy with the catch. 2 down for 24 runs. And the new batter is coming to the crease. It's Dhananjay Ambre, who we will refer to for the rest of the evening as DJ, because it's so much easier, and that's what he wears on the back of his jersey, I believe. About to face his first ball from Nadeem. And got a good bit of bat on ball, dot ball nonetheless. DJ is certainly a quality batter. Fairly elegant, more traditional style of batter than others you may see, but nonetheless is also able to accelerate at a good rate when he needs to. And it appeared to be a loosish shot, but it was straight through the gap, safe, off the mark with a single. See Nadeem just drifting a little bit to the leg side. Just clipped, a little bit more than clipped. Thumped into the thigh pad of Ali, and no run. Looking for the leg bite, but there was none there. Charges down the pitch and has a big swat at the ball that ultimately dribbles about 20 yards. Doesn't quite make it to the other end, but fielder running in from near the 30-yard circle wasn't able to get there in time. Gave him enough time just to whip through for a single. Brings us to the final delivery of the power play. Turn nicely around the corner. Good looking shot. Pick up a single. It's the end of 6 overs. Power play is done. And the Incredibles move on to 27-4-2. And I hope you're enjoying the footage that's coming your way. The live broadcast here on Facebook Live, provided by Studio 7 Chicago and Hassan Dastir and his crew. Doing a great job all season. Hassan himself recovering from a rather nasty barbecue injury, I believe. But he is up and walking around, so that's all that we've been thankful for. Vinit continuing from the northern end. Shortish, short of a length delivery, straight onto DJ. Prodded away in defence to the covers for no run. Another good delivery, a little bit quicker that one. DJ swung all over it. Sort of a stand and deliver type of shot. He stood, he didn't quite deliver. Thankfully, he didn't deliver anything onto that ball. Straight through the keeper, no run. Another shortish delivery, one for the over. It's called a successful bouncer. DJ did duck it, so that made it look a little bit higher than it really was. Actually well delivered. If DJ had stood still, it probably would have clubbed him right on the helmet. So probably smart to get out of the way, but makes it equally as good a delivery from Vinit. And the fast bowler's ploy of short ball followed by a fuller delivery at the stumps. DJ from a back-footed type of position lofted it down to mid-off for a single. Another short delivery, cleverly played by Ali, just rocking back, letting the ball run off the face of the bat through a fairly vacant slip position. Even if a slip was in place, it would have been over his head. There is man down at third man on the boundary. Easily fielded, but nonetheless an easy single. Brings DJ back on strike. Vinit coming off a shortish run. And we see a good-looking shot. Turned around the corner. DJ all over that one. And it's gone for 6. And I'm just going to come down near me. I'm going to see if I can help find it. Thought I might be helpful there. Getting up from my seat to collect the ball, but not needed. Sit down, old man, I was told. See the replay. Just turned around the corner, just got enough of it. Good way to end the over with a big 6. It is the end of 7. 35 for 2. Run rate moves up to 5 runs per over on the dot. And DJ moves on to 9, who has tied his partner who's been there since the beginning, all but one ball, who's also on 9. Ali will be on strike to begin the 8th over. It's going to be Nadeem William continuing from the southern end. Big shout out to Hassan, just giving us a wave. A little bit of a crowd just building up near the scoreboard. That was a shorter delivery, just following Ali. He was trying to get towards the leg side though. You have a free swing to the off, but the ball followed him. And as it was, he did manage to get a bit of bat onto it and just dribble away for an easy single. There should be easy singles out there unless you hit it straight to a fielder with some power. There's plenty of opportunity for a drop and run. DJ is a very good runner between the wickets. Nadeem just targeting leg stump, just missing his mark. Signalled a wide by, I believe that's umpire Karim Ali. Standing there, he's been one of our constants for the entire season, doing a magnificent job. Well respected. And that's a better looking delivery from Nadeem. That's more of what he wanted, just bring it back. Cramping DJ for some room, but not drifting too far onto the pads to allow him opportunity to whip it on the leg side. There it was, a little bit shorter, and again, just drifting down the leg. Easy run, easy wide. Midwest captain would not be happy with that. And a little bit quicker, DJ got under that. It's going miles up in the air. There is a fielder out there at deep fine leg on the boundary. Took it cleanly. I can't quite see who the fielder is, but we'll get that for you. Ultimately, a well-judged catch. He made it look easy in the end just because he judged it so well. He was there. Ball was swirling around a little bit up in the air, and at this time of the evening, where the lights haven't kicked in, does make it a little bit awkward. So he did a good job of getting hands under that one and taking it safely. So DJ's out fairly cheaply. Another wicket to Nadeem William. I'll just get confirmation who the fielder was for you on that one. Oh, it's Fahad Baba out there. He's a very, very good cricketer in all respects. Has represented the US a few years back, playing in Ireland, Northern Ireland. So certainly knows his way around the cricket field and very familiar to anyone in the Chicago area, but also to anyone who's played in the Bolingbroke Premier League as well. So ultimately a good catch. DJ's out cheaply. They would have wanted him to stick around a little bit more. But we have the left-hander Ramel Ray coming to the crease. He can be very dangerous. See Rommel off the mark straight away. Maybe not the most confident looking shot, but nonetheless a single. And that one cramped everybody up. Most notably Ali. Looks like he clipped that into perhaps could have been a tender area. Looks like he's rubbing the inside of his thigh. So perhaps didn't encounter anything too painful. So we won't see any replays similar to any French high jumpers. Or pole vaulters, I should say. See a wideish delivery, but actually well directed. Ali offering no shot within the tram lines. Dot ball to win the over. That is the end of 8. 39 for 3. Another successful Nadeem William over. Nadeem with the impressive figures of 7 for 2. 7 runs, 2 wickets after his 2 overs. So he's bowling very economically. Does appear it will be Vineet continuing from the northern end of his short run, coming around the wicket to the left-handed Rommel. Short delivery, nicely played. It's running close to the boundary. They should be able to scamper back for 2. A dramatic roll to field the ball that was coming to a halt anyway. Maybe a little bit more spectacular than it needed to be. In the end, a comfortable 2 runs, good-looking shot. Make Rommel feel happy that was coming off the middle of the bat and looked to go exactly where he wanted it to go. So that's always a positive for any batter. And Vineet bowls that one a little bit more fully. And that was a short arm jab type of lofted drive. Not sure any way better to describe that. Something akin to what a right-handed Stoinis from Australia might be able to deliver. Fairly strong forearms involved to be able to pull off a shot like that. There is a fielder out there, so they picked up just a single. Brings the right-handed Ali Amin back on strike. Vineet's going to be coming over the wicket. Just adjusting the field. Bringing Hassan up from deep fine leg to the 30-yard circle, so it'll be a short fine leg. There's a deep man at third man. There's a deep cover, deep square leg, deep mid-on, and also a deep mid-off. Actually, that wouldn't be mid-on. That'd be a long on and a long off. I have to correct my terminology there. So deep square leg, long on, long off, deep cover, and deep third man. The 5 fielders outside the circle. Just see Ali copping that one. Again, on the body. Might have an awkward bruise. Doesn't look like he's in too much discomfort. Looks like it copped him on the top of the hip. Although he is walking off. Is he looking for spray or is he retiring hurt? Obviously must have been a little bit more pain than at first glance. Or perhaps our Incredibles using the opportunity to change him out with the opportunity as a retired hurt. And bringing in, looks like that's Agrim Sethi coming to the crease. I'll get that confirmation for you. Fortunately, my vision over 100 yards is not the same as Superman, so I can't quite see. But I believe it is Agrim Sethi coming to the crease. It is. So we've got Ali Amin. It says retired in the scoreboard. I'm assuming that would be retired hurt, based on the fact he just got whacked by a ball. Which would mean, for those of you watching or listening, retired is you just choosing to go off of your own volition, and it's considered the equivalent of being out. You cannot come back. Retired hurt is where you're forced off by an injury, and assuming your injury gets catered to decently enough, you are entitled to come back on the field if needed. See Agrim just facing up to Vineet. First delivery. Vineet looks like he's generating a little bit more pace now than he was at the start of his spell. And perhaps why Ali Amin is wearing a bruise and decided to go off. That one's drifted down the leg side. Called wide by the umpire. At first glance, it looked like it may have just clipped the batter, but we'll see the replay. It looks like it did miss him. So another run to the board and another delivery to be bowled. Obviously, in the short form of the match, there'll always be a couple of wides, but any team captain would want to keep those to a minimum. I mean, that's part of the bowler's ploy, is to try directing it to where the batter isn't. Sometimes that's reaching for the very widest you go on the offside within the tram lines, and occasionally the bowler does just miss. So that's an acceptable wide. It's when the ball's just going haywire that the captains usually get annoyed. Short delivery, well-directed delivery. Some evasive action there by Agrim. Ultimately a dot ball. And that is the end of 9. Incredibles are 43 for 3. Effectively 43 for 4 if the retired hurts situation holds and Ali is not able to come back at the crease if needed. Vineet after 3 overs, a little bit expensive. 19 runs coming from his 3 overs. It was a slightly better over there at the end. Looks like he was getting a little bit quicker, and obviously hasn't got a wicket yet, but has forced a batter to go off the field. Doesn't get credit for that. But as someone like Shoaib Akhtar used to announce, that was almost as good as getting a wicket. Nadeem William to continue from the southern end for his 3rd over. Short delivery stride. Nicely lofted away by Ramel Ray. 1 bounce and a little roll over the boundary. 4 runs. Nadeem was just given a little bit too much width. He was right in the wheelhouse there for Ramel, who's come to the crease and looks like he's found his form straight away. Hasn't taken too long to get going. Nice looking boundary, good shot, and well needed boundary, or much needed boundary, I should say, for the Incredibles. Similar looking shot, a little bit more uppish and a little bit more width on that one. Didn't quite get all of that one as he did the previous ball. Out towards the boundary. There is a man out there at deep cover. He's able to move around, pick that one up. Limit them to 2. Nadeem would be well advised to bring the ball back in a little bit, not allow Romel to free his arms, as he has been on those previous 2 deliveries. Again, that one's well timed. There is a fielder out there. Got himself in good position. Managed to keep it in front of him. Some good running by Romel. Good throwback. That was a good bit of fielding. It was an awkward bounce by the time we got to the fielder. But he did manage to harness that nicely. But again, 2 runs. That's the 50 up here in the 10th over. Halfway through the 10th over. 51 for 3. That one drifting down the leg side. Just overcorrecting Nadeem. Did on that occasion. Called wide. Another run on the board. Still 3 remaining in this over. Better delivery from Nadeem. Nicely dug out from Romel. Turned what could have been a defensive block into a positive shot. Whipped it through the covers for a single. Straight to the fielder. Then did manage to pick up 1 there. That brings Agrim on strike. Yet to get off the mark. Had an awkward 3 deliveries from Vinit when he got to the crease. Let's see what he can do here against Nadeem with 2 balls remaining in this over. All right, so that brings us to the end of the 10th over. 55 runs on the board. 3 wickets down. 4 wickets considering the retired hurt there for Ali. Halfway through the innings, 55 for 3. So we'll put it out there to anyone on Facebook Live. Feel free to drop a comment. We'll follow up with them when we get the opportunity. But if you want to put a score predictor out there, go for it. I think after opening 55 off 10, 140 might be a good mark. The light's starting to fade right now. We're waiting for the light towers to turn themselves on. They're a little bit late in getting themselves on here. Vinit continues for his 4th and final over. Good amount of bounce generated there. See, the light's just flickering on now, so they were a few minutes later in flicking on, about 5 minutes behind when they should have, but that's all right. It's been a beautiful evening, so we'll catch up here in no time. And we see another shortish delivery from Vinit, but these are well-directed short deliveries. He's not bowling too short. So these won't qualify as bounces. They're just coming up quickly at the batter, up around the shoulder area, the rib cage area. Just enough to make the batter uncomfortable. Romel not able to free his arms on these ones. They're well directed at the body. And see the result of that. Romel just getting the bat under that, lofting it up. Ultimately well fielded by Sadaf, I believe. And the 4th wicket falls. We get confirmation, I believe, of Sadaf Hussain running backwards, taking a well-judged catch. He was moving in the wrong direction to the typical cricket catch, over the shoulder, but was able to watch it all the way. Indeed, Sadaf Hussain caught the ball, bowled by Vineet Sinha, the batter Romel Ray, out for 14 off 11. Another vital wicket at a vital moment for Midwest. Some good bowling by Vineet. He was a little bit expensive to begin with, but now he's really looked like he's honed in on the batter. That was a good 3 deliveries there. So any fast bowler watching, that was a good combination. Shortish at the body. Another one shortish at the body, and that one is shortish, but just at the hands more than body, which tempted the batter to try doing something with it to get himself out of the way. And all he could do was hit it straight up in the air for Sadaf Hussain to pocket the catch. And the light towers are now on. Perfect timing. Another few minutes and they will be in full effect, which coincides nicely with the setting sun in the west. Another beautiful evening, another beautiful sunset here in Bolingbrook. Very, very pleasant evening. Very comfortable temperature. Barely a breeze, if any. And more importantly, no bugs. And I think the cicadas have gone away as well. So the new batter to the crease is the veteran Arshad Khan. Been around quite a while, but certainly very more than capable. Confident batter. Can play his shots. He's got 3 deliveries remaining from Vineet to continue to complete his spell. And just clips that one to the offside for a single. Off the mark right away. And Agrim with a couple of steps down the crease to meet the ball. Gets a very, very good timing on that one. It was straight to the fielder who managed to protect himself and field it at the same time. Got a hand to it, knocked it down. It did dribble a few yards away from him, so the batters were able to come through for a single. And Vineet trying to complete his over, but still has 1 legal ball remaining, that being a wide there. Just letting his figures down there and his over down. He's bowled a very good over up until that point. Might be just suffering from a little bit of fatigue. That one drifted up to the thighs, clipped away for a single by Arshad. End of the over, 59 for 4 after 11. Vineet finishes with 4 overs, 1 for 23. All right, we have our first score predictor coming in from one of the Cardinals. Vijay from the Cardinals has predicted a score between 110 and 120, so he's given a range. That's a little bit less than commitment worthy there, but we'll give it to him. 110 to 120, he's thinking. I think that might be a little bit light. I'm thinking maybe if they get going here, 140, but they don't want to lose too many wickets in the next few overs. Now we have the ball being thrown around willy-nilly this time. We have Anas Mahmood is the new bowler to the crease. Delivers the first ball, a bit of a wild swing there. And ultimately no run after a fairly comical looking event. Better delivery. Played over the top of it, did Arshad. Straight to the keeper's hands for no run. Sort of a nothing shot he played there. That's the one that gets you an under edge and gets you out, so be careful of that one. Better looking shot. A little bit more width. Ball held up just a little bit more, and they whip back for two. Powerful throw. And they're going to give up an overthrow on that one. Couple of stray throws going on. A little bit of excitement on the field there. Maybe Midwest reminiscing about the very first ball of the over where they did pick up a wicket from a run out. Trying to accomplish that again. But as it was, they gave up the bonus run. And 3 runs from that delivery to Arshad. Moves on to 5 off 5. Again, just checking out where the fielders are placed. We have a deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and a deep cover. Outside the 30-yard circle, there's 3 fielders in the 30-yard circle on the offside, and then 1 patrolling the leg side within the 30-yard circle. And just a dot ball there to Agrim. And there's a mix-up here. Arshad was able to run all the way down to shake hands with Agrim and then run all the way back. Looks like he's worn himself out. Throw was a little bit askew and not fielded at the bowler's end. So ultimately, that's a lot of running for no run. Arshad ran 2 himself and Agrim stood still. There's a little bit of confusion. They're having a discussion. Guys, we've got to get this sorted out, they're saying to each other. The umpire is just telling him, you know what to do. You can talk about that at the middle of the over. Or at the end of the over, I should say. Let's not hold up the game if you guys can't figure it out. Trying to get an update from you for who the bowler is. If I change my position, I'll get a better look. It is Manaf. It's Manaf Brambat. Coming in his left armour. Looks like he's coming round the wicket. There he is. I recognise that bowling action. Manaf also a member of the Fenders Cricket Club. Played a few games with the Fenders. We have Wasim, one of our umpires, now as a spectator here today. Everyone's coming down on a beautiful evening here in Bolingbrook to watch some cricket. What promises to be a really good final. Lofted delivery. Just chopped away to the man at long on for a single. Shout out to any Fenders who are watching out there. Eventually I'll see if I can get you a game. And see Agrim with an agricultural type of shot. Well fielded on the boundary. It was a good shot. Was timed well. It was certainly into the gap, but I believe that's Fahad Barber out there. Made some good ground. And kept them to a long single. They were hunting for a second with the overthrow. Agrim was ready. Arshad perhaps a little bit worn out by running back and forth previous over. Not quite so. And a big hoik. There is a fielder out there. Is he going to go all the way? And that was Vinit, I think, out on the boundary. Wasn't able to catch it, but he did a good job of just sort of knocking it down. Perhaps didn't quite read it very well or wasn't quite in position to make the catch. Some thinks it might have been caught. But nonetheless, he did knock it down and protect the boundary and limits them to a single. And also a very good throw from the boundary. Taking out the stumps, Arshad was safe at the non-striker's end. Stumps are in position, ready to rock. Manaf continuing. And Agrim has a hoik. That one's going to go all the way for 6. A straight. In the books, it looks like a straight drive. It was a bit more of a straight hoik. Either way, very effective. Right off the middle of the bat. And a maximum. Now the hunt for the ball begins. The Forest Preserve land at the end of the Bolingbrook Park District cricket field. It does sometimes make it a little bit awkward to chase down some of these balls. It does look like it's been recovered. Being returned. No, we're on the hunt for a cricket ball. Nonetheless, it was an excellent shot by Agrim. Don't know if we'll see the replay on that. Nothing going on. Yeah, we'll see the replay again. It was lofted up. Agrim gets to the ball. Sort of a slanty cross-batted shot, but he did get all of it. And that is 6 runs. And we found, hopefully, a suitable replacement ball. That ball lost in the jungle. Much like Rambo. Saturday there were 2 games and there's 1 game. There's 2 on Saturday and there's 2 Saturday. There's only 1 game. And then I'm giving Barbara's going to do the other 2 on Saturday. All right, I think we're got everything in action. Balls replaced, ready to go. And Manaf just drifting that one wide, perhaps weary of, a little leery, I guess, of dropping it in towards his toes for doesn't get whacked for another 6. But that one's gone for wide. Agrim declining a single. Had a swipe at that one. Didn't manage to hit it straight to the fielder at mid-off. That brings us to the end of the over. 13 overs done. Incredibles moving on to 72 for 4. That is a run rate of right around 5.5 and over. Agrim's moved on to 9 off 11. Ashad 7 on 8. They've survived a few awkward moments of running, so they're still there. 7 overs remaining in this innings. And we'll just throw it out there to see if we've got any predictions, any further predictions coming in. We have Salman watching from his new home in Arkansas, I believe. Salman played a few years here in the BPL before relocating himself. I believe he's trying to get cricket up and running down there. So maybe we'll have a interstate match here up in Bolingbrook Stadium before too long. Maybe Salman will decide next year at some point to bring up a crew from Arkansas for a tournament. Perhaps the Liberty Cup or any other tournament that we have going on. signalled wide by the umpire. Tight call that one, but well, yeah, I have to these umpires. These BPL umpires are doing a great job all season. There's not too much complaining from any of the fielders. Hopefully they're pretty happy with the result. Good delivery that, good bit of keeping. Takes us to the end of the over. 14 in the books, 76 for one bat to retire per. So that's the equivalent of 76 5. Well, we've reached that point in the game where Incredibles still have wickets in hand. 6 overs to go. Certainly don't want to be throwing wickets away. There is time to start accelerating if they can get up close to 140 runs. Look at the Midwest starting lineup, and they certainly have quite a lot of firepower. Anything less than 140 for top them is just a shame. Right on cue, Midwest bring back their big gun, South African coming back into the attack with 2 overs remaining. Called for the third over, so it's a better part of 2 overs remaining. Call relatively quick and accurate. You see a good shot from our shot, but an equally good bit of fielding by Steve. Not there at that point. And curtailed any thought that our shad had about scampering off for a run. So 2 dot balls in 15th over. See what happens here. Interesting result. And the big grounder. Ashard managed to pull off a lofted drive there. Not quite time, doesn't go all the way to the boundary, but back to 2. Pushes Ashard into double figures. Have a look at the incredible batting scorecard. You see quite a few people get to the double figure point, getting a start. They're not going on moving these 2 batters in as hanging there till the death as best as they can. At least till the 18th and 19th over. That one's called it wide, just straying down the leg side. Tripped off his toes. Quick single. Good call from Marshad. Run to the danger edge. Adrian caught a little bit ball watching. It wasn't his call. He stood still in the crease at the strike zone. If he listened to his partner, who would have run straight away, would have been home much more comfortably. As it was, he is home safely. So we'll cross the 80-run threshold. Shortish delivery in the 15th over, that's his third. After a very economical figure of 10 runs coming from his 3 overs. Hasn't got a wicket, he's been a little bit unlucky in that. Would have had a wicket if Hassan managed to pouch a fairly difficult chance. But you can't catch them all, and it was a difficult chance. Alright, that's 15 overs in the books. Only 5 overs remaining. I think these two batters really need to have a conversation amongst themselves and have to perhaps decide which one of them is going to go. In the position now, they do have a few wickets in the shed. Again, you don't play foolish shots, but at least one of them probably should start counting his arms, taking a risk. Because they need to get them accelerated here. Probably about 20 runs to make. Ideally like to get. Continuing. That's not the most elegantly played there by Arshad. Mention I'm able to pouch that cleanly, so I'm going to come into the stump. More important, Western helicopter. And that is catching practice. Anas is cramping Arshad's room. He's got under that. Gently elevated that one. The man standing at shortly wicket. About as easy a catch as Ashok Khan, caught by Nadeem Williams, followed by Anas Mahmood. After 12 of 17 deliveries. And again, Midwest chipping in with a vital wicket at a vital moment. Moeen Baba coming to the crease. Moeen, the brother of Fahad. First brother of Fahad, who's represented with Midwest this time. Not the first time more Sydney rivalry in cricket here. Good delivery from Anas. First up to Moeen. He just played all over that one. Beat everybody, including Venkatesh, behind the stumps. And that just rolls through for a bye. First true blemish on Venkatesh's record for the night. Azim hoiking that down right past me. Good effort by Hassan on the boundary. It was just a little bit too high for him. And it's gone for 6. I think Hassan could have done much more with that one. If he had another 3 or 4 feet of boundary space, he might have been able to catch that one. So that's a good shot by Azim. Much needed by Incredibles. 6 runs. A good follow-up delivery by Anas. Anas is cramping the room. And another good delivery there from Anas. Venky missed it. I think there might have been a little bit of bat on that one. No signal from quicker. A little bit of a one for Sellish, out of this one. Delivers to Lewis. He fields the ball. That goes on 10 seconds. 20 years old. 20 years past. Time when she was playing in circuit. And another dot ball. That's 3 dot balls in a row. Very, very good bowling. It's very hard. But that one's considered a wide. The late signal for a wide on that one. Just come out on the strand line. Viewing angle is just off the leg side. Safe on the track. That's a better looking delivery. There's a 2 dot ball. So 3 dot balls and a wide. Move over. With all of that, Owen's not been able to run any contact. Charge on the pitch. Again misses. That one signals wide again. Not happy with that call. There, it may have been borderline decision, but if they have the umpires out there, they get a better view of everything from our angle for the broadcast. Trying to get some bat on that, runs it down. There's a man charging around. The third man limits him to just a single. An excellent throw back from behind the stumps. Good bit of fielding. One ball remaining in this 17th over. 3 runs coming from the first half. Change that. Misfield there for the man at Gully. I believe that's been it in front. Now going in. Another run from the tally. There is still a miscount. Still 1 ball remaining in the over. Another swing and a miss there from Nagrim. Wouldn't be happy with that over. He missed quite a few deliveries. 4 runs coming from the over. It's the end of 17. Incredible move on to 92 for 5. 3 overs remaining. Nagrim's out there straight away. Here, but has an opportunity in the right. There's a shot. Missing the ball. Owen, himself very capable batter, will be on strike to begin the 18th over. That will be our now continuing Be starting to booth. And another dot ball to finish. So not the greatest performance there in these last few overs. Incredibles crawling their way to 98 for 6 with 1 over remaining. And it looks like it's going to be Sadaf coming in to bowl his final, fourth and final over. This time changing, coming in from the southern end. And the Incredibles will be looking for anything just to get them somewhat over the 100-run barrier. About ready to roll here in the final over of the innings. Sort of charges in, good delivery, angles across, Moen. Does get a little bit of batter on it, runs it down to the man at deep third man, but again, just a single. And that one had the batter in all sorts of contortions. Batter's pleading for a wide, but he played all around that. And the ball looks like it might have just travelled over the leg stump. Just missed the body. He's complaining, but would have been better off actually trying to hit the thing than complaining about missing it. They're going to sneak through for a quick single. It's going to bring up 100. And just the 3 balls remaining in the over. Sadaf opting to come off a shorter run for the final little bit here. Another shortish delivery and another single. Bump ball, shot for the stumps. Ultimately just a single. And just the 1 ball remaining in the innings. And a single to finish things off. Good bowling that from Sadaf. And Incredibles finish 103 for 6 after their 20 overs. So a little bit disappointing that. After Incredibles put themselves in a position where they probably could have been fighting for at least 30. To finish on 103, we have to give our hats off. Full credit to Midwest for dragging them back. A little quick recap here of the scorecard. No one really outstanding for the batters. Quite a few people getting to 10, 11, 12. Agrim top scoring with 18. But hats off to the bowlers. Not too many loose deliveries. Managing to bowl more dot balls than really should have been. Not enough pressure from the batters rotating the strike. We have pick of the bowlers. Probably Nadeem William 2 for 19, Anas Mahmood 2 for 17 of his 4 overs. Vineet picking up a wicket. after being a little bit expensive. 1 for 23 after 4. And Sadaf Hussain, unlucky not to get any wickets. Did take 2 catches in the outfield, but very economical. 4 overs for 15 runs. So we're going to take a break of about 10 minutes till we start the second innings. Midwest chasing 104 runs to win here at the beautiful BPL Stadium in Bolingbrook. And this is Julian just signing off momentarily. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for you. Well, hello there, everybody out there in Facebook Live. Welcome back to the BPL Night Tournament Final here at the beautiful Bolingbrook Cricket Ground on this lovely early September evening. We are back. We have all the teams just coming back on the field after a little bit of an extended break, enjoying some food and getting ourselves ready for the second half of this match. So, a quick recap. Incredibles won the toss, elected to bat, and in their 20 overs, scored 103 runs for 6 wickets. Midwest did a great job of keeping them contained. So here we are coming back in. We've got Midwest looking to chase down 104 runs for victory in the night tournament. So, just give full appreciation to all you guys watching out there on Facebook Live. Hope you're enjoying it so far. My non-professional opinion is that I would think that Midwest, with their batting lineup, probably should consider themselves in the driver's seat for chasing this down. But obviously we all know this is a game of cricket and anything can happen. It would not surprise me if Sandeep Mehta, who's the owner of the Midwest Cricket Club, somehow convinced someone such as Curtly Ambrose to come in for a tournament. But it hasn't happened on this occasion. So looking at the predictions, ran out a couple of predictions. Imran Rashid predicted 96 for 6. And wasn't too far off the mark. Vijay Kodapati, he predicted about 110, and he also wasn't too far off the mark. I predicted 140, so I was a long way away. I had confidence that they may go on to get that, but I was wrong. So we have batters at the crease. It looks like we have Fard Baba. Just get the scoring lineup change over here. So it does look like we have Fard Baba, and opening with him, I can't quite see it. It's going to be Moin Baba opening up for the Incredibles. So brother to brother, much like they did in the backyard back when they were young. Now just a dot ball to start things off. And squeaked it away for a single through the hands of the man at mid-wicket. Should have been cut off. Fortunately was not. And I'm just waiting for the scorekeepers to play catch-ups for your viewing pleasure. Batter just taking guard. I believe that's Mohammad Fahad. If I'm not mistaken, it is Mohammad Fahad, who's also a quality batter. Very capable, nice, elegant. And just another dot ball. Moin Baba, who has played in the Chicago area for a long time, renowned as a fast bowler, just offering his leg spin option. Become fairly accomplished leg spin bowler too in recent times. Perhaps as age creeps up on us all, he's recognised the need to pull back on the fast bowling sometimes and get moving on and try his hand at the leg spin. And just dabs it away, and we see the scoring has now caught up to things on your screen for those you watching out there on Facebook Live, and we do appreciate your choosing to watch our broadcast. Obviously, it is a weeknight. We know that people are busy, got things going on home, got families, but the fact that you can tune in, watch while you're accomplishing other things at home, perhaps even working. We're very thankful that you're able to be part of the process here. We see Moen with the ball that sort of gets some good bounce. I believe, did it miss the bat? No, there's no signal from the umpire, so must have just caught a little bit of bat from Mohammed, and he's off the mark with an awkward-looking single, but a single nonetheless. It's the end of one, Midwest 2 for none. And it looks like it's going to be the youngster, Vedamin, product of the Bolingbroke Youth Academy. Still plays with the under-15s, under-16s. But a couple of seasons ago, he offered himself as a youth player for many of the teams in the night tournament. And just by making himself available, he's proven himself quite valuable, and as a result, he's found himself a permanent position in the incredible squad this season. He's grown about 6 inches taller than he was a couple of years ago. That certainly helped. Left arm fast bowler, and just the fact he's more than competitive at this level, obviously going to serve him well into his future, especially if he gets into representative under 15s, under 16s, under 17s cricket. Left arm over the wicket to Mohammed Fahad. And he certainly picked up a bit of pace. That was a well-delivered bouncer. Maybe just a little bit too much room for Mohammed Fahad to get on top of it. Some quick running there from Fahad Baba. A little bit of sloppy fielding out there in the deep. Should have been limiting them to 2, but Ryan was able to scamper back for 3. Wasn't a bad ball from Ved, especially first up. Maybe just a little bit too short. Nonetheless, bowled with some decent pace. And as he gets bigger and stronger and grows into his body, he's just going to get faster and going to be quite a handful for batters in the next few years. So, got to give a shout out to Neeraj, who's the coach and overall organizer of the BPL youth program. Does an amazing job. And we see a good example of drop and run. Straight to the fielder, but 2 quick batters have played with each other quite often in the various leagues around the Chicago area and beyond. Able to read each other well. And picks up an easy single. Just tapped off the pads there. Didn't go far to the man just behind square leg. But again, these 2 batters very quick between wickets. Scampered through for another easy single in the end. And sure enough, the score moves along to 7. Only chasing a fairly meagre total of 104. And especially if one of these batters gets going, that is probably not enough. We have a no ball. They're just overstepping the mark. We're going to get the signal for a free hit. And beautiful night here. The sun has gone down. The lights are in full effect. The ground well lit, like a frat party. Good delivery from Ved. That was a free hit. Fard not able to do very much with it at all. Just squeezed out behind square leg for a run. Incredibles is just allowing too many easy singles. They probably want to have someone on both sides of the pitch just in close, just to ward off those easy drop and run singles. Because if they're going to give up too many of those, they're not going to have do a very good job of defending 103 runs. Good slower ball. And getting a little bit of sloppy work behind the stumps. And they scamper through for a bye. It looks like a bye. I didn't see the signal from the umpire. It was. I just missed it. I was looking at the fielders and not at the umpire. Signaled the bye. That's a better bit of fielding. Dot ball to end the over. 10 for none after 2. So there has not been a lot of rain around these parts for quite a while, so I'm not expecting too much moisture to come up through the ground. That being said, see a little bit of, looks like mist off in the distance. So we are close to the river here at Bolingbrook Stadium. So we'll have a look to see if the mist rolls in from across the Forest Preserve part of the ground. See Moeen Barber continuing from the north end. Mohamed Fahad on strike. Just squeezed out to the man, straight to his hands at point for no run. And deja vu for ball number 2. That one just able to squeeze it towards the left hand, or past the left hand of the man at gully. And this time they're able to get through for a run. That brings Fahad Barber back on strike against his older brother Moeen. good bit of fielding. Looks like from, I think that's Agrim, out there at point. Swiftly onto the ball. Pirouette and the quick throw back to the keeper. And Fard barely had time to leave the crease. And again we see very similar, but this time able to just squeeze it past. Had enough on it to get it out deep towards the boundary. They come back for two. And the one ball remaining in the over from Moeen. Drops that a little bit shorter than desired. His younger brother able to pounce on that one and cut that forward through the cover region. It was a cover cut, I guess you would call it, and all the way to the boundary for 4 runs. Midwest move along to 17 after 3 overs with no wicket down. Alright, so it's fairly quiet here at the Bolingbrook ground. Obviously, the game's not over yet. Incredible's still in it. We're going to have a change of bowler. I guess it's the smart thing to do for the Incredibles captain at this time, is just to mix things up. They don't want to bring about any sort of pattern that Midwest batters can pounce on. So it's going to be DJ Umbre coming into the attack with his right arm over the wicket spinners. Fairly fast delivery spinners, driven through the covers by Mohammad Farhad. Looking for 2, but it should just be the 1, and there it is, just the 1. And some back and forth there at the striker's crease from Fard Baba. A little bit anxious. Mohammad Farhad having none of that. He just put his hand up and said, just stay where you are. There was no run there. And sure enough, there was a dot ball, followed by another dot ball. The Incredibles are going to need plenty of dot balls if they're going to help defend this total of 103. An appeal from everyone on the ground except for the bowler and the keeper. Usually that's an indicator to the umpire that there is no bat involved. And that one's a little bit wide, called wide. Tight call, but I think the umpire's been fairly consistent tonight. There were a couple of tight calls in the previous innings. As long as there's consistency, difficult to complain, like balls and strikes in baseball. And so we just hoiked away, somewhat ungainly shot, but easy single in the end. And DJ quickly approaches the last ball of his over, straight through the hands of, I believe that's Ali Amin. Covers for a single. 3 runs coming from that over. Midwest Cricket Club after 4, 20 for none. Again, we've got to give shout out to Hassan Dasjir for organising this wonderful BPL night tournament. It's been a fantastic tournament at a beautiful venue, and also shout out to him for arranging for delivery of the food there at halftime. It was delicious. Nothing beats a good biryani at half-time of a cricket match. Especially when someone else is paying for it. It's just a correction to the scorecard from what I announced at the end of the last over. It was a little bit premature. It's 21 for none after 4. It's going to be Vedamien, change of ends for him. He's coming in from the northern end now. Left arm over the wicket to Mohammad Fahad. Just drifts onto the pads there, out past Arshad at square leg, or just behind square leg on the 30-yard circle. And picks up an easy single. It was a good delivery, short of a length. Certainly didn't give Fahad any room to play, but he did manage to just dab it into the gap on the offside, pick up an easy run. That's one thing that they're doing better than, I dare say, the Incredibles did, is just rotating the strike, picking up the drop and run singles when they're available. See Mohammed advance. Doesn't get it as confidently as he would have liked, but they're going to, with the fielding restrictions, only 2 people allowed outside the circle. Once you get it past the infield, you've got the chance to run. They managed to come back for 3. Just a little bit too much room there offered by Ved. Hats off, though, to Mohammad Fahad. He created a little bit of the room there for himself to be able to pull that shot off. Yeah, the second ball should have been. Now it's Mohammad Fahad on strike. Yeah, see that 3 should have been Mohammad Fahad. The dot was Mohammad Fahad. And we see another ball just squeezed away for an easy single. That should be the end of the over. We do apologise. Looks like the score is incorrect on the scorecard. Looks like they missed the ball, and we'll just get that corrected for you. So it should be 28 after 5 overs. There was a run. There was another single to Fahad Baba. Then there was 3 to Muhammad Fahad. There was a dot ball. Yeah, it looks like we're now getting that all corrected. So, all right. So now we're up to speed again. So, apologies if you're watching. So, I miscalculated. There was a run. Last ball. Yep, dot for the last ball. That was a run because now Muhammad Fahad's back to strike again. Last ball. All right, so it's DJ Umbre continuing from the southern end. First ball was a single to Muhammad Fahad. And then second ball to Fahad Baba. They're appealing for a stumping. Fahad did not leave his crease. Good bit of work behind the stumps. We'll certainly give him that. I think that's Sanjay Anand behind the stumps. But not out. We'll just get the stumps corrected. We should have 29 runs on the board. Yes, it looks like we're all up to speed where we need to be. So, yes, do apologise for the slight scoring miscalculation there, but we've got it all corrected now. So, as we're approaching the end of the power play here, 3 balls remaining in the power play. Midwest moving along at an expected run rate. They're not trying to set the world on fire, but they don't need to. At this stage, they probably aiming to get through to the 10 over mark without the loss of wickets, at which time they're going to find themselves feeling very comfortable about chasing down the remainder of the target. See a pull shot there from Fahad. Maps didn't quite time it how he wanted. Looked like it might have come on to him a little bit faster than expected, but nonetheless safely played. Easy single. And there's Muhammad Fahad driving that down the ground. Lofted, didn't quite get it all. Looks like a nice bit of fielding by Romel Ray. Keeps it in. And just the 2 runs. Good bit of work there. Protecting their lead as best as possible. And goes again. This time gets a little bit more bat onto that. And it goes all the way for 6. Good looking shot by Muhammad Fahad, just trying to accelerate, perhaps trying to get home a little bit earlier than he originally told his wife tonight. Because all these gentlemen out here playing, they do enjoy coming out and playing cricket at every opportunity. But some of them must have very understanding partners at home, the amount of cricket that they play. I guess anytime you can give a little bit back to your better half, the better. Finishes with 2 runs from, and well run 2 runs. Midwest at the end of the power play. 6 overs done, 40 runs on the board, no wickets down. All right, so we're just getting a little bit organised here with the Incredibles, just trying to figure out what their next tactical move is. They need to get something going. They need a wicket or two or even three. Otherwise, we may find that these two batters go a long way to knocking off this target quickly. I believe this is Ramel Ray into the attack. Left arm over. It's got a zippy pace. But again, just not troubling the batter there, pushing it through the covers for an easy single. Incredibles now allowed 5 players outside the 30-yard circle if they desire. Very similar shot by Fard Bauer. Slight misfield on the boundary and they come back for 2. Good throw from the boundary, but straight to the keeper's end. Hits the stumps. Fard Bauer easily back, just watches it take the bails off. So the umpire just walk in to get things re-established at the castle. So we have players in the deep at deep, or cow corner, really, at a long on. Looks like deep cover. And at third man, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fielders in the circle. I'm trying to find the 5th deep fielder. Oh, there he is. He's deep cover. We got him. Oh, there's a man on 30-yard circle at a standard mid-off. So there's 5 in the circle. Again, just pushes that for an easy single. And I think it's anyone out there watching on Facebook Live. And again, we do appreciate your tuning in to watch this coverage of the BPL night final. But I think if you are watching, you'd realise that neither of these batters seem particularly perturbed at the moment. And making it look like fairly easy work right now. More like a batting practice session at the moment. And again, just an easy, gentle single to finish the over. That's 47 for none after 7 overs. So Gary tuning in. Cheers to you, Gary. Hope you're having a good evening. And since you must have just tuned in, just to recap for you, we have Incredibles won the toss, elected to bat. And at the end of their 20 overs, managed to just crawl to a below par 103. Midwest Cricket Club are now chasing down 104 for victory. 7 overs gone. 47 runs on the board. So right now, and no wickets down. So Incredibles really need a breakthrough. They have Ravinder Singh coming to the crease, or into the attack. Going to bowl his right arm overs. Ravinder typically plays for United 11 in the regular BPL 30-30 competition. But just trying something different today. Shortish, maybe called a wide, and indeed it is. Bonus run, something that the Incredibles can't afford. Ravinda didn't get a chance to bat. This is his first bit of action tonight. And perhaps just as the air got a little bit cooler in the evening here, just taking a little bit of time to warm up. Those 50-year-old bones just not quite moving as well as they should be. And one straighter. Here's some chatter out there amongst the batters. Fahad Baba was pushing for 2, pleading his case as to why it was 2. Muhammad Fahad saying, dude, just relax. Ramsey, man. Take the single, we'll get on with this, no worries. Another shortish delivery. Too much time for the batter. Whipped it away. There is a man out of deep cover. Should just be a single, and there it is. Good throw back to the bowling end. And again, just another single, but an easy single. And again, just a little bit too much width, and bowling a little bit too short is Ravinda. And again, another easy single. And Midwest have broached the 50. They're under 51 for none. Another good ball there from Ravinda, and just the one ball remaining in his over. A couple of precious dot balls. They need plenty more of those. Fahad just walking up to give some sort of tactical information to his batting partner, who probably just go back down the other end. I know what we're doing. We'll talk about it during the break, over break. And sure enough, shortish, out towards the leg side. There is a man. That's the youngster Ved Amin out there patrolling the boundary. Limits them to 2. Brings us to the end of 8 overs. Midwest Cricket Club doing it fairly easily. They're just a little over halfway to their target. Not a bad over there from Ravinda. Just clutching his shoulder as he goes back to his fielding position. Perhaps just tweaked it with the cool air. Maybe didn't warm up quite as well as he should have. But that is Baji. He'll go forever. So the pendulum of victory looks like it's swinging fairly definitely towards the Midwest Cricket Club side of the equation. For those of you who are betting people, of which none of us should be because that's just bad. Who says we're allowed any sorts of fun? But I would say that the odds-on favourite are Midwest at this stage. It's Romel Ray to continue. Shortish delivery. And I believe, he had the opportunity for what looked like a good catch. I'm not sure if he got a hand to it. We'll have to look at the replay there. As it was, it got past him for 2. See Romel coming in. Shortish delivery. Fad onto it. Looks like he pulled it from the offside. Didn't quite get there. We were deceived. He was probably about a yard away from it. Didn't quite get to there, so we can't blame him for a drop catch. We can blame Fahad for a much better looking shot there. Elegant pull shot, just pivoted a la Brian Lara, although in reverse in the mirror. Over the boundary for 6. Excellent shot. That's probably the shot of the night. He may have a bit of trouble locating the ball in that long grass. Just on the fringe of the field. Hopefully there aren't too many coyotes hanging back there to maybe drag our fielder into the deep, but we won't consider that possibility. But that was an excellent shot. That is the longest boundary on the field. That's a good 65 metres to the boundary. And that one cleared the boundary by easily 10 or 15 metres. We see the fielding team all standing around while two of their players are doing all the work. And I'm assuming that means they found the ball. Or perhaps not. Well, I'm assuming that means the umpire has a suitable replacement ball to finish off the remainder of this innings. But none of that takes away from what a beautiful looking shot that was. Excellent shot then from Fahad Baba. Let's see how Romel Ray responds. If there are any kids watching out there, if you get yourself down the field and look at the square leg area, you might find yourself a cricket ball if you're prepared to go diving through the long grass. Some excellent running there from Fahad Baba. It looks like Mohammed was not expecting that, but did hear the call, charge back, and they come back for a quick two and puts them ever closer to achieving their target here. Nicely worked away casually for yet another easy single. Midwest looking very, very relaxed and untroubled here. I have a feeling many of the other members of the batting lineup have put their pads away, put their feet up and thinking we can just cruise here for the rest of the night. As we see Mohammed with an excellent shot. There is a fielder out there on the boundary. It was caught, but I do believe he may have been outside the boundary for 6. So an excellent catch. Well, let's say an excellent take. But it was all practice for him because he was over the boundary and it was 6 runs. Mohammad Fahad clearing the boundary with ease. And final ball of the over, just tapped away to the offside for a single. Midwest cruising at this point. 71 for none after 9 overs. We could pull out the worm, but there's probably no point. They require 33 more runs from 11 overs. So any of you out there studying for your math test, that's 3 runs and over. I predict they will probably do it much quicker than that. So let's throw out the predictions there to any of you watching out there on Facebook Live. Let's see who gets the closest. At what point do you think Midwest will achieve this target of 104 runs? And even more hats off to you if you predict the number of wickets that have fallen. So right now they're none for 71. So let's say, for example, you predict 104 for 3 at over 14.2. That's not my prediction. That was just an example of what I'm talking about there. Does appear it's going to be DJ continuing from the southern end. Mohammad Fahad takes a swipe. And people casually stroll through for an easy run. And its Midwest Cricket Club have been a very formidable cricket club for the last few years. They've been renowned for bringing some notable cricketers into the BPL to play not only in our league but other leagues around the area. So we see Fahad Baba, who formerly played for Incredibles a few years ago, now solidly with the Midwest Cricket Club, picks up another single. Last year there was Zia ul Haq playing for Midwest. And this year he appeared in Major League Cricket. I think he was with San Francisco. Don't hold me to that. I did see one of the matches he was playing. It's good to see him playing alongside players such as the caliber of A.B. de Villiers, Mark Stoinis and the like. Quality player and also good guy to umpire for. See, Mohammad Fahad gets under that one, gets more elevation than distance. It does fall safely. They're looking for two. Ravinder doesn't have the strongest arm from the deep. So they're able to run one on the throw, come back for two. Mohammad a little bit lucky to get away with that one. And as such, Captain Moeen just realised that his teammate, more senior teammate, perhaps doesn't quite have the arm, so he's put himself out in the deep. And Ravinder's patrolling the infield. Elegant looking shot by Mohammad Fahad, flicked off the legs, managed to beat the fielder out on the boundary there, gone through for 4 runs. But the one ball remaining in this over. There's a fielder out there. It's not going to carry to him. Didn't quite get all of that one. Just to be a single in the end. Fahad Baba just maybe getting a little bit over enthusiastic. No need for a second run there. That's the end of 10. Midwest Cricket Club have moved on easily to 80 for none after 10 overs. Require just 24 more runs to see things home and to hoist the trophy for this BPL 2024 night tournament. This match petering out into maybe a little bit of an anticlimactic event, but it doesn't take away from the tournament itself, which was an exciting, well-run tournament. I think everyone who participated was very happy with the results. 9 matches per team, 10 teams participating at this beautiful ground under lights. Games almost every night for 3 months. For those of you counting, by the time you include playoffs, that's a grand total of 52 matches. So that's a lot of cricket at night here in Bolingbrook. Culminating in this beautiful night here in early September. Looks like there may be a bit of mist coming, but we should beat it. We're going to have a bowling change. I think this is Agrim Sethi coming into the attack. Coming in from the northern end, right arm over the wicket to Mohammad Fahad. And crunch! There is a fielder out there. Did he get enough distance on it? No, he's gone. First ball, there's the wicket down. Now that ends a great innings from Mohammad Fahad. He certainly did the job of getting Midwest more than set into this run chase. We'll get a read on who the fielder is for you. There it is, Agrim Sethi to Mohammad Fahad. Mohammad Fahad caught Omer Razak out for 43 of 32 deliveries. With a strike rate of 134, certainly put his team within reach of this trophy for tonight. Now let's go back to see if there's any predictions here. Anyone brave enough to put a prediction? So at least one wicket down, we know that much. No one's willing to go out there on a limb. Well, I'm going to say they're going to chase this down in 13.2 overs with 2 wickets down. That's my prediction. 13.2 overs being exactly 80 legal deliveries. Coming into the crease, we have Venkatesh Naidu. Venki quite often opens the innings. However, happy to step down to first drop when you have players of the calibre of Mohammad Fahad and Fahad Baba up the top. Now, if this was a 50-over match, I imagine the roles might be reversed. You'd probably have Venki coming in as opener and Fahad Baba perhaps coming in at first drop. But in the short format of cricket, you really want your best players having the most opportunity to score. And we see Agrim able to do what other players have not been able to do to Midwest and bowl dot balls. That may be another wide, and there it is. That's certainly not going to help Incredible's cause. Midwest moving on ever closer to the target. Full toss. Venki new to the crease, not able to do too much with that. I dare say if he'd had already been in for an over or two, he may have done more with that delivery. Sanjay behind the crease with his baseball-style helmet and face mask get up, much like a baseball catcher. And I don't see any reason why cricketers in the US may not want to consider that option for getting yourself set up as a wicket keeper. Although the prevalence of cricket gear and the options and the availability of cricket gear in the US is certainly much better now than it was 10 or 15 years ago. All right, that brings us to the end of the over. 11 overs gone. Midwest 84 for 1. They are precisely 20 runs away from their target. And Fahad Baba 33 of 30. He's looking to bring them home. Midwest still, Incredible still have fielders way out in the deep. I would suspect that if I was captain myself, I would probably decide to bring everybody in, have 3 slips in place for the fast bowling youngster. It's highly unlikely they're going to contain them at this point, so it's a matter of doing your best to pick up some wickets. And if nothing else, support your young bowler. See if he can pick up a couple of wickets just for his own individual glory going forward. Give him a little bit of a confidence boost. Yet they still have players out in the deep, long on, long off, deep square leg, deep cover. They do have a fly slip of sorts, a gully, mid-off, behind square leg, and a wideish mid-on. So they still have 5 in the circle. As Vitamin comes back in from the southern end for his third over, starts with a dot ball. Good delivery there from Ved. Firmly driven, straight to the man at mid-off, who decides to field it with his shins, bounces off and gives up the single. Looks like he's in a little bit of discomfort. That's Ali Amin, who's been in a little bit of discomfort all day. He's been hit on the shins twice, been hit on the hand. He had to retire hurt after being hit on the thigh. He'll probably have a few decent bruises when he gets home tonight. May need to let Calgon take him away in a bath. That one will probably be wide, and it was. Just striving for a little bit of extra pace. Good idea from Ved, just doesn't quite deliver with that one. Better looking delivery there from Ved. I think that's what he was striving for with the previous delivery. Got it right on that occasion. Ved's got a fairly long run up from right on the 30-yard circle. Charging in, left arm over the wicket. We see that one carved away, but there is a man straight out in the deep there. Nicely fielded, limited to just a single. Good looking shot from Venki, but good field position from Moin Baba, the captain. But Midwest moving bit by bit ever closer to the target. Another good ball from Ved, but we see a very good example of the drop and run tactics by Midwest, who have been much better at that tonight than Incredibles were. If Incredibles had adopted the same tactic, they probably would have had an extra 15 and 20 runs on the board, especially towards the end of their innings. Anyone who was watching might remember there was too much play and miss, not enough rotation of the strike, too many dot balls in the final 3 or 4 or 5 overs of their innings. Speaking of a play and miss, we see a play and miss from Venki Naidu there. That brings the end of the over. 12 overs gone. Midwest 88 for 1, chasing 104 runs to win. 16 runs required in 8 overs. Even I can do that math, that's only 2 runs and over, but let's hope they do it a little quicker than that. And for those of you worried about rain, which I can assure you is not going to happen, the DL pass score is 55. It's going to be Agrim continuing. A little bit of trivia for you. when the Bolingbrook ground had their turf pitch open a few years ago. Agrim Sethi was the very first gentleman to score a century on the turf pitch. And unfortunately, due to some circumstances involved with maintaining a turf pitch, we haven't had it open this year. It just takes a lot of work and effort. People are willing to pay for it. We're happy to do it. That's the square just to the right of the AstroTurf pitch on your screen. You can see sort of a bit of an orange tinge. That's the turf square when we resurrect it. So another shot out into the covers for yet another single. That's 3 runs so far of this over. There was a double off the first and then single there. Yeah, so we haven't had the turf pitch open for the last couple of years, but that has allowed some of the vegetation to grow over the top of it again. So that's going to help hold it together, which means we should be able to get that thing resurrected next year for some turf matches. But we do need some help to make that happen for those of you wanting to play on it. A big hint to any of you out in minor or major league cricket wishing to use the Bolingbrook Stadium, let us know in advance and we'll be more than happy to make it happen for you. See another single there from Midwest to the Midwest tally. That one from Fahad. That brings Venki back on strike. No, it's Fahad back on strike. I'm sorry. Venki got the previous single. And there's a single to Fahad Baba. So he moves along to 39. He may not have quite enough opportunity to reach 50, but he's certainly doing the job that his captain wants him to do. Venki swinging a miss. His fellow keeper Sanjay gloves that nicely. 1 ball remaining in the over. My prediction of 13.2 overs is looking a bit dodgy right now, but there's a wide. That's helping. And down to 10 runs required. Just a little bit short from Agriam. Venki rocks back. Taps it away to the leg side. Perhaps not quite, strokes it quite as nicely as he would have liked, but picks up 2 runs in the end. That's the end of 13. Midwest cruising very easily now. 96 for 1 after 13. Less than double digits now required to bring home the trophy for the 2024 Bolingbrook Premier League Night League Tournament. Again, another fantastic tournament. And shout out again to Hassan Dastir for arranging the whole thing on behalf of the BPL. Done a great job. Teams were happy. Thanks to Studio 7 Chicago for all their work in broadcasting these finals. I think there were a handful of games throughout the regular season, but all of the finals, except for one, was broadcast due to an injury to the man involved, the man in question, Hassan Dastir. Wasn't able to walk for a couple of days due to a foot injury, but now he's up and around. Sounds like he's going to be 100% in no time. In the meantime, it hurts a little bit. See Baji, a.k.a. Ravinder Singh, back into the attack. Coming from the southern end, right arm over the wicket. Single to start to Fahad Baba. He's on to 40. Another easy single, this time to Venkatesh. And we're officially at 13.2 overs, and I am 6 runs too short from my prediction. Good looking cut shot. Straight to the man at deep cover for a single. Midwest onto 99. Baji with a bit of a practice run there. Pulled out of his action there for some reason. Ooh, we have a mix-up at the bowling end. Fahad being a little bit over-eager. Doesn't realise that to play that shot, Venki had to be on the back foot. Wasn't quite in position to spring out the crease. Very wisely sent him back. Venki unleashes with an elevated pull shot. Doesn't quite carry all the way to the fielder. In the end, just a single. That's the 100 up for Midwest. They're just 4 runs shy of their target now. And 1 ball remaining in this over. Can they do it this over? Fahad tries. There is a fielder out there. It's not going to go all the way. A little bit of a dancing. They're going to run 3 just because they can. And they're going to come back for the 4th. And that may be it. And I think that is it. That's innings done. 4 runs off the end of the 14th over. And that brings about the end to the Bolingbroke Premier League night tournament. So just a real quick recap. Incredibles won the toss, selected the bat, 103 for 6 at the end of their 20. Midwest came out, chased it down, ultimately with ease. Got to their target 104 after 14 overs. And Fahad Baba top scored 45 off 39. Mohammad Fahad helped his batting partner 43 off 32 to basically help him set up the run chase. Venki came in just for help mop up the remainder. 8 runs, 104 for 1, and did it with ease. The only wicket taker, Agrim Sethi, 2 overs, 1 for 12. Probably the pick of the bowlers from that regard. Stay tuned. We should have a presentation here in a few minutes. But just to recap, Midwest Cricket Club have won the Bolingbroke Premier League 2024 night tournament. Stay tuned for the presentation.